Greetings, world. Welcome to another MEN-talRollaDeK Live. Today we have the great Baba Ivan Norah.
Nora.
I haven't forgot. I got you. I wanted to be dramatic.
Jay. Jay.
Greetings, God. How are you
Greetings.
feeling today?
Man, I feel thankful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful today.
I
Yes,
know,
indeed.
I know. We should have done this a minute ago, but the mechanical circumstances of daily man structure actually keeps evading it. But now the time is great.
Yes, Jay. I
Um,
appreciate
you're welcome. You're most welcome.
that.
I want to say gratitude for the work that yourself and Baba has been doing, the teachings that you guys have actually brought forth, and what you have given me as a young soul in this world. I am grateful for every essence of it, learning daily from you guys, and you guys aiding me going forward.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Gratitude.
We gotta salute y'all, man. You have a book out. Tell us about your book.
Um, Currently I have two out. Um, my first one is called Oyeku. And I don't know how many of your listeners are familiar with Ifa, um, but there are 16 Odus. And these Odus, excuse me, deal with what some people would call energy. And each one of those Odus give rise to 256 combinations. And those 256 combinations can well, not can, will keep you on the plan and destiny that you choose for your life to bring balance to you. So the particular book Oyeku is the first Odu, although some people believe that Agbe is the first. It's really not a big argument. It just depends on if you're going to teach somebody from a matriarch society or patriarch society. So, but me, I believe that the female is first. So Oyeku is the first Odu. It stands for end of cycle, the beginning also of cycles. It reveals to you things dealing with your ancestors, dealing with death, dealing with uh, a multitude of just different things that are hid from you in the dark. It reveals it to you. So that is my first book, Oyeku. My second one is Agbe, which out of darkness comes light. Darkness being Oyeku is also considered chaos. So out of darkness comes light. So the light is Agbe. So you need light to be able to see where you're going. So
Mhm.
Agbe is revealing. It's a revealing knowledge. It's knowledge itself. It stands for enlightenment. Um, it's a very powerful and positive Odu. It deals with positivity. It shows you things um, that'll guide you in, to guide you to keep you on the path of your destiny.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
very rich and powerful. Um, First question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Someone that's ignorant to Ifa, how can they indulge?
The first thing that I would do, as a person that's curious about Ifa, because there's so much out here right now regarding Ifa, because it's like it's the hot thing, and I'm glad of it. I'm glad of that. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people that um, take the science and make it into a religion. And I don't stand for the religious aspect of Ifa. I stand. I mean, although if you're a person that needs that structure for your life, because some people need like a church or a religion structure for their mind. I'm not one of those particular people. So when it comes down to telling people about Ifa, there's a very man, it's like a thin line. There's so many people out here that's panhandling it for the religion to get people money. And I'm not with that. So I would tell a person to do their own research, to invest. I mean, there's a plethora of books out here for them to read themselves. But as far as locating a babalao, as some people will say, you have to be real careful when it comes down to that, because a lot of them, unfortunately, are just shysters and they want your money. So I would tell a person to do their own research.
The game of life.
Yes, yes.
Not nature, the game of life. Men.
That's
Is
very
always
well
is
said. The game of life, not the game of nature. That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Um Earlier you spoke of the patriarchal notion that the feminine was first.
Yes.
I understand that nature is a feminine
Yes.
being and so on.
Yes.
Where did we go wrong within this matriarchal cycle of society that aim to alleviate the feminine?
Um, that's a good question, man. I have children, and I have also I have godchildren. And one thing that I tell them, anything that is not teaching you duality, stay away from it. That's really the key of life. You have a hand, you have two hands. You don't just have one hand. I'm sorry that some folks are born, deformed. That's not what I'm saying. But balance is left and right. You understand where I'm coming from? You everything that deals with in nature, it has duality. So how can you raise your children just to believe that they only should look at their daddy or they only should look at their mama? They have to look at both of them to have balance. It's the
Even
right and left brain.
even in astrology, it speaks of
Mhm.
duality. Your body
Yeah.
structure are are based off of the zodiac. Like you have from your head going all the way down, right?
Yes.
So it shows duality. But
Yes.
like I've always told this story that seeing my child come through the portal of their mom
Hmm.
changed my mind frame on this religion thing, right? And I
Hmm.
started having more respect for the feminine energy. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? Because all men are within this realm because of the feminine energy and their
Yes.
portals,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So viewing society now and the lack of knowledge within the feminine energy, calling themselves woman, a female
Hmm.
slave,
Hmm.
and the disruption from within them, the misindependence and so on and so forth. As a wiser God, what do you say to that? And how can we work on actually changing that to go back to duality, the yin, the yang, or the masculine and feminine? Because we have both. Even men have both.
Yes. Well, that's the beautiful thing that's going on. Right now, in society, well, in the world, period, you have downloads that people are getting every day. And that's not something you could stop. So the well, I'm talking about the downloads. You can't stop the downloads. So
Yes.
the insight and revelation that is going to bring us to balance is going to manifest regardless. There's nothing anyone can do to slow it down. There's nothing they can. It's going to happen regardless. The planet or the universe at large is going to bring itself into harmony with itself. It's going to happen no matter what anybody does. It's going to happen. So the overall deal is me or you might have got tapped in earlier than somebody else, but the knowledge is coming. The knowledge is manifest. So it's on and popping, like some people say. It's gonna happen. We're gonna be brought into balance regardless.
So hide if you must. For those of you that's into Biblios or the Bible, remember Jonah? He tried to run from what he's supposed to do. Guess what? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
enjoy it while you can. Nature is
Indeed.
changing. The universe is changing. There's nothing you can do about it. Everything that's unnatural, may you rest in peace. And
That's
everything that's
right.
natural, may you continue to rise and elevate.
Indeed. Well said.
So now, why you wanted to write a series of books?
Hmm. Well, the series of book. Well, the religion. And I'm not going to mention. I'm just going to say the people that have adopted Ifa, because Ifa is not a religion, it's a science. Ifa is a science, but there are a group of people that have adopted Ifa and turned it into a religion. So, but Ifa is not a religion. I'm gonna say that again. Ifa is not a religion. The oracle is not a religion. The 16 major Odu principles are not a religion. The 256 combinations they give are not a religion. But there's a couple of groups that have taken it and turned it into a religion, to where if you want to learn the secrets of the oracle, then you will have to become what some people would say initiated. So instead of them being honest with you and telling you that initiation only means that you're coming, what some folks call coming online or coming to an understanding of what you're getting involved in, they give you a certain ceremony, and this ceremony you have to pay for, and then it gives branch to another ceremony, to on and on and on. There's always ceremonies. There's always,
Rituals. Okay.
yes, there's always rituals. And some people, they need that. Some people really do need that. So that's why I never, scoffer at the people that need to go through the process of that. I let them do that. But at the end of the day, after their pocketbook is worn out and they don't see any real change, um, if it's somebody that I know, they normally come to me and say, well, why didn't you tell me not to do this? I'm like, no, 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 no. Every man has to be responsible for themselves. So if you're intrigued with how my life has gone and how I've gotten to where I am, then I can share with you how I got to where I am. But I'm not going to tell you, you do that. You know what I mean? I'm not. That's because it's my life. You follow where I'm coming from? So the books are based. What made me decide to write the books is I've read the majority of people's idea about what certain odus mean, and they have it twisted into religion. They have it twisted with the psychology of America, and they have it, well, I don't want to say America, with European thinking. They have it twisted with European thinking. They have it twisted with Spanish thinking. They have it twisted with African thinking. They have it twisted with so many different groups of people, concepts of what their over or under or understanding is, to where if someone here in America got a book from Africa and read it, they would not be able to apply what that Odu is referring to here. You follow me? So what I feel my job has been, since it's been working for me and my family, is to write a series of books that give you the metaphysic understanding of what a certain Odu is saying, to enlighten you and to trap you out of the shackles of your mind from a European standpoint, that where you're locked up in your mind from a European standpoint of understanding. So you'll be able to take it and read it and be able to say, well, what, damn, you're right, I can do that. Give you an example. Say you read a particular Odu, and that Odu, I know a lot of people don't know what the Odus are, but I'm just going to say this here. The name of the Odu is Owan Ren. And you read Owan Ren, and it talks about leaving behind the past. Okay. Well, you may say, well, what do you mean leaving behind the past? What past? Is it referring to my past relationships? Is it referring to my past trauma? Is it referring, what is it referring to? So you have to come to the understanding of what it is referring to as you as an individual, what it means for you. So if over in Africa they have leaving the past, meaning leave away the past from what slavery, what the colonizers done to us, then they're going to put something in there that talks about the colonizer, leave the past of the colonizer behind. Well, what the hell am I going to do with that over here? You follow where I'm coming from? If I read that over here, I'm like, leave away the past of the colonizer. That can't help me. So that's why I decided to take every Odu and write it from a standpoint of the revelation of how it changed my life and how we as Americans see things here, English speaking people here, or broken English, whatever you want to call it, see things here. You'll be able to understand it and understand it and follow it and be on the path for your own life.
Copy.
Hope I explained that way.
Yeah, you can't really say English because it's German, Latin.
Yeah, it's
a whole bunch of bad. Yeah,
that's the word. There you go.
So with everything you stated just now, I understand that you have to do away with the middleman and go within you and find the change within you.
Yes.
Basically. Okay.
Yes. Because wherever you go, you are.
So say this individual, they spend money on all the damn books, but vibration wise, they're not there yet. Right.
Well, that's when, like these books that I'm offering, the principles, they deal with divining. So if you're a person that divine, these are the books that you will get, because it will give you Expound?
Yes.
Okay.
Divining.
Divine is part of what some of us would call Obiabata, or what some of us, let me bring it to layman terms. Okay. Divining is a way of knowing what energy is surrounding you. Okay. Or what thoughts are surrounding you. Some people would say, "Nah, I know what thoughts surround me." No. Sometimes you don't know what's going on within you. So what you would do is it depends on what how you were taught to divine, because yes, you do have to be taught to divine, to read the particular energies that I'm telling you about. So let's say you get some cowrie shells. So now you have to find somebody that is familiar with divining. And it's not limited to what they would call Babalaos. There are many spiritual practitioners out here that know how to divine. So you would connect yourself to one that can teach you how to divine based on the insight and revelation that they receive that deals with Odu, the 16 principles. So that is the first step. You have to learn how to divine in order to apply the books that I have.
And the divine or divining, I'm gonna say it's an action. Are there different variations of things you can utilize? I know one is the shell.
Yes. Oh man, Oh, that when I tell you a plethora,
mm-hmm.
man, we have bones, we have vital caps, we have shells, rocks, chains, opale. Man, this is a plethora of things. So I know how to utilize pretty much all the things I just mentioned to you. But when it comes down to me teaching my godchildren, I always start off with the coconut shell. I drill 4 coconut circles for them, and I start from there. I teach them yes and no questions. Once they get to learn the yes and no questions, I tell them to analyze how their yes and no questions are falling, because their yes and no questions are going to fall in a pattern, and those patterns are going to be one of those 16 Odus. So they're learning 2 lessons at one time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you would have to find a spiritualist, Babalawo, or a priest.
I have the shells, and basically how you described it for me, it was like, okay, front is light, back is dark, and that was like eureka, like whoa, So that made more sense to me. How did you get into Ifa, this science? Because what I've realized on the other aspect, Christianity tend to shun the teachings of science that we're a part of. Like you hear some of them say, oh, this is evil, you're doing this, you're doing that. I've heard some say saging is evil.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And so on and so forth. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say about those individuals that lack the actual capacity to know what they're talking about when it pertains to the science of Ifa?
As far as like, if you wait a minute, give me a little bit more of what you're asking me. You're asking me if a person, the people that demonizes
Ifa and turn it into a form of witchcraft, or try to say it's witchcraft because they lack the understanding of it, because they practice Christianity on one hand, they believe in devils, so on and so forth. But with Ifa, you're speaking of the patriarchal format, right? That deals with the feminine energy, and then you come back to the masculine, because there's a duality in the feminine and the masculine energy. You indicated that the female comes first. What do you say to these people that are misinterpreting Ifa, the science?
Well, Ifa defends itself, so I wouldn't even remotely attempt to address anybody that would say, you're into that devil stuff. I just look at them. I mean, everybody has their own opinion and their own road to travel, and to me, you as a whole, anybody should never let whatever road they're traveling, let somebody else deviate them from their road, because your destiny is your destiny. So I don't defend Ifa to anybody that tries to talk about it being done. Man, you ever seen the movie Baby Boy with Vin Rain?
Yeah.
Do you remember the part where he was in the hallway and Jody and old boy was in the room smoking weed, talking about him, and Jody said, "I hope he heard me."
Yeah.
Remember that part?
Yeah.
And he said, "I hear you." Well, that's what I tell people when they sit up here and they try to demonize it. I just say, I
I
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
well, well stated. Well stated.
Mhm.
Um, what has Ifa elevate about you as an individual?
Oh man, it helped me deal with a lot of trauma that I was going through that I had no insight about. I mean, some of the things I knew were there, but when I began to learn of EFI, it really brought me into balance about a lot of things. Um,
Care to share one or two, if you don't mind? Like, you want to expound a little bit, not to get too in depth into your
I'll be
personal
glad.
paralysis, but
Be glad to. Okay, you know how? Okay, um, we got Oyeku, right? Oyeku is darkness, right?
got you.
Okay, we got Agbe. Okay, Agbe represents the masculine energy.
Okay.
Okay, Oyeku is the female energy.
Okay.
Okay, so light comes out of darkness. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I needed the knowledge to understand the things that were in the dark in me.
Mm-hmm.
And E5 shined that light right on it through divine. You
Okay.
follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So there were things going on in me that I did not know was going on in me that had me unbalanced. So when I got into it and I went to go and have what some people would call a read. And when I went and had my first read, it told me things about my anger problems. It told me things about, the guy that gave me the read, it was more fairy tale-ish on how he gave it to me. He gave me some characters, you know, that I didn't have any knowledge about. So let me give it to you this way. Okay. He threw the Opele and he told me, hey, Ogun is after you. Um, you have debts to pay with Ogun. And I'm like, Ogun, man, I don't know no Ogun. What is you talking about? And your ancestors they're angry with you. Um, and you've been troubled by an Agile Goon. Now I'm gonna explain to you what all of this means, but he did not. Okay, so he told me that I was in debt with Ogun. My ancestors were angry with me, and I was being troubled by Ajagun. And I said, well, man, what do I need to do? And he said, well, the first thing you need to do is Ebo. You need to kill this. Well, you don't need to kill it. He need to kill this hen for me. He need to offer Moti for me, and he needed to. I needed to take a spiritual bath. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if a person goes to a priest, Babala, what have you, and they hear all that stuff, they're the first thing they're terrified.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, what does all this mean? He say, oh, well, after I do the Ebo, your life will change. I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this cost the Ebo cost, I can't remember the money, but it was a ridiculous price. And I gave him the money. So goes to his place. He killed He killed this animal for me. Killed the hen for me, and bought him some gin. He pulled some gin on this statue, and what else did he do? Gave me some soap to take a bath, and I said, okay. So after I do all this, of course, I'm waiting for my life to change.
But,
I'm waiting for my life to change, brother.
but you ain't doing no work yet. But go ahead.
Yeah, what yeah, exactly. What work? He didn't tell me any work to do. He
Didn't
did
tell you had
he
to do work.
Yeah, I already did it. He said the elbow was gonna stop. Was gonna help me deal with my issues. You follow me?
He didn't
Now,
tell you. You got to deal with your issues.
you understand that? He didn't tell me that. I dealt with the issues by getting the hen killed. I dealt with it that way. You know,
Yeah.
so so you know, and I'm sure some practitioners that are out here listening to it are offended, and I appreciate you being offended. I appreciate you. But
He's telling the
this is the
secret.
thing, this is the thing that he was saying to me that I later learned through my own studying.
Mm-hmm.
Ogun, okay. He told me to read a book about Ogun. So he gave me this book, and I read about Ogun. He was talking about an individual chopping people, angry when it comes down. He's bad when it comes down to war, and the book did not help me at all. Well, he sparked something in me about reading. So
Curiosity
I
now.
began, huh?
He made you curious.
Yeah, he made me curious. He made me curious. So I began to do some investigating on my own because going to see this dude was not helping me, brother. So I found out Ogun is considered to be the god of war. All right. And he's also considered to be over technology, over metal, and he's considered to be the remover of obstacles. Now, that is far as the information that I had that I was getting would get me. I'm like, there got to be more to this. So when he was saying that Ogun was angry with me, I did some more investigating about Ogun. It began to show me that Ogun represents integrity. Ogun represents truth. Ogun represents honesty. Ogun represents level-headedness. So I'm like, wait a minute. Ogun represents this stuff. So I need to, and he told me I need to make an offering to Obatala. So I needed to learn how to deal with my anger. I needed to learn how to constantly be honest with people. I
Mm-hmm.
needed to learn how to walk in truth. I
Mm-hmm.
needed to I needed to learn those things.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of him telling me this, he had me believing killing a hen. Now you need to find out what a hen represents. You understand? I needed to nourish
Yeah.
myself. You
Um,
follow me?
Sidebar for everybody that's listening.
Mhm.
Remove the middleman and turn within yourself for the answers. You already have it. Within the issues that you travel in life, the answers are there. Continue, King.
Indeed. We call the Ori, which is your mind. Your Ori has all the answers. All the answers. So my relatives or my ancestors being angry with me meant that I'm on the path that they have always been on. This is a family trait. This is how my family handles things. You follow me? So
Mm-hmm.
I was living the way that they live. That meant they were angry with me because they coming right back to the same
You
situation.
need to break the cycle.
There you go. There you go. My it was the ancestors angry with me and Ajagoon to irritate me. There were things that I knew that I should not do that troubled me. Ajagoon is considered to be a spirit that comes and trouble you. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Agitate.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? So
Mm-hmm.
anytime that you're having a problem that let's say that you decide that you want to go and work out at the gym all the time. You say, I'm gonna go every Friday. And Friday gets here or Thursday get here and you go to sleep, the first thing start coming to your mind, oh, I gotta go to the gym. And if you remotely forget it that Saturday or that night, you're constantly bombarded by it. You're irritated by it. You're agitated by it.
Stress.
You're stressed. So the Ajagoon was me knowing better to do what I needed to do, but yet I refused to do it, and it was causing me a lot of sleepless nights. Now, you don't think he could have easily, once he read the energy, said to me, hey man, you're going to have to learn to deal with your anger problem, and you're going to have to be a man of your word, and you're going to have to tell the truth all the time. Give me $50.
Can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
If not to say you're a sucker, but he suckered you.
Yes. Oh yes. Oh
a
yes.
lot of time we get suckered by the metaphorical format which someone uses to keep you coming back. Like,
indeed,
like certain mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
You'll take your car to them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll play with your car. They'll fix something and create another issue. So you come right back to them to keep the money flowing.
There's no integrity right there.
But it's they do that.
Yeah, they have some that do it. Yeah,
they do that, and that's what it is. So the knowing of thyself is a powerful thing.
Yes,
because knowing yourself alleviates the middleman. The middleman don't like when you know yourself. The middleman wants you to keep coming, like a pastor. He's the middleman.
Yes,
right. He will take your money every Sunday, but guess what? He would tell you like, "Yo, I can't help you deal with God. I can just point you in the direction, or I can't help you." Mm-hmm. And if that doesn't trigger something here, then you are a sucker. You're lost.
Yeah, you're a sheep.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Exactly. So, understanding that is to remove the complications and make it as vague as possible.
Yes.
Where you can comprehend it. Where even a 3-year-old can understand it. Here's a question I have for you, King. Once you realized he suckered you.
My real eye. Yeah, real eye.
Yeah. Once you saw that you didn't need him, did you continue to open up more within you for Ifa?
Oh,
by studying?
Most definitely. Because I kept coming across shysters, that were claiming that they were something. And and I'm like, what is it with this? You know what I mean? It really irritated me when I really started growing and developing in the knowledge that some of the very people that I was listening to begin to come to me. I'm like, no, wait a minute, brother. You're supposed to be giving me answers. I'm not supposed to be giving you answers. Well, you've studied more. What the heck? What? Okay, but you're initiated to this. That means you're supposed to completely understand and fully be aware of what's going on. They have even been shystered. You follow me?
But you got to look. I'm sorry, but you got to pay attention to the wording of it. Understanding what are they standing underneath?
Their inner and overstanding has been it really has been messed up, man. Because they like I'm telling you, I had a particular individual, very respected, came to me, and I'm like, hey man, I don't know how to even feel about this. This is something that you should already know. And they're like, no, because I've been told this. And I'm like, oh, so you realize that it was a game too? He's like, yes. So what you gonna do? You either gonna break away or you either gonna stick with the game. If the game is paying you, chances are, most folks, they stick with the game. I can't do it.
Integrity.
In Ogun. That's right. Integrity. Indeed. I can't do it. Mm-hmm.
So for a young whippersnapper, as myself, right? Why should I aim to study more to comprehend where I need to be, where I don't need the middleman or the teachers anymore, unless it's to swap energy in a different light. Okay.
Because I was just about to say, you're always going to run into what you're looking to learn.
Well said.
So the answer of having to hunt for a teacher or having to hunt for the knowledge, yeah, you're gonna have to, you will have to work for some knowledge, because once you get on the path of something that you really want to learn, you're gonna go buy the books, you're gonna go to the meetings, you're gonna go do everything that you need to do to consume the direction that you're going in. And guess what? Since you're going in that direction, that's all what's going to be on that path. So there is no such thing as having to hunt, or either like E5. You're doing E5 and don't even realize that you're doing it. I just have a name for you. You follow where I'm coming from?
Absolutely. Yeah, because some of us, I mean, I speak for myself. Let me stop generalizing. There are things that I would go through, and there's things that my mom used to tell me as a kid that would sound crazy. And now through my introduction into you guys and the changing of energy and learning from you guys, I start to realize that there is something deeper to me than me taking certain things for granted and not understanding what those things are, and not knowing there's a masculine and feminine Orisha that represents my energy. Right?
Indeed.
And that these things are part of my travels on this plane and this avatar.
Indeed.
And I never knew that, because I was brought into a system of going on my knees, putting my hand together, and doing these different rituals, Freemason rituals that unconsciously we don't know are Mason rituals.
Indeed.
Right? But I've identified with Ifa when Baba introduced it to me, and I start gravitating more to nature, the taking off of the shoes and walking outside, understanding the balance that the energy within the earth is within you, and start to understand that we never actually die, because we're electric beings. Electricity never dies, but the avatar decays and dies, right?
Yes.
And within Christianity, they have me fearing death. Like, once I'm gone, but that's not true. So with this understanding, it sparked a different light. Like, yo, I've been lied to. I've been a sucker too. And I start looking at certain things. Like, it's kind of like I told another guy when I was talking to him, like, yo, you telling me you went outside, you spend your energy, you worked for this monetary thing called cash, right? It has no value, but you needed food. You then take your same energy, walk to the store, purchase the food, then take the same energy, walk into your house, prep the food, right? Sat at the table with your family, then give praise to somebody else for the food.
That's crazy.
Do you know how crazy that is?
Hey man, we both grew up with it though.
We did, but do you know how crazy that is, King?
Indeed. And
we stand strong with that. And I'm not to knock anybody. What you believe in, you believe in. That's fine. That's you. Right?
I like how you're watching your words. What you believe.
Yeah, you have to emphasize it for them. Because the word belief is a trap within itself.
Man, I was at the park recording some videos. And one of the videos was belief in fact. And while I'm sitting up explaining it, they had a preacher come up and just jump in the video. Yes, it is important to believe. My name is Pastor Dustin. So he went into, and I say, hey, get this. Make sure you're getting this, baby. And he went to explaining about the importance of belief and having faith. And so after he finished, I asked him a question. I said, hey, man, um, so you're telling me you rather uh, think that something is a fact versus it being
True.
a fact? And he said, no, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. I said, wait a minute. If you investigate belief in truth, everybody idea in truth is based on their relation to their idea of what truth is according to their reality. And he said,
Believe.
well, that's wait a minute, wait. So y'all, what y'all were talking about on your program, you said that you don't deal with belief. I said, no, I don't. No, brother, I don't deal with belief. I want some facts to stand on. And I'm not telling you that facts don't change, because they do as we grow. But belief in truth, that will continually change, because it's based on the reality of the beholder, brother.
But it's the teachings that confuses people, that have them stuck on thinking it means something else. That's why I say we have to go back to an etymology dictionary, go back to the
Yes, yes,
1928 Old
yes,
English dictionary before they actually corrupt the true meaning of these words. And you know what these words mean. You know what I mean?
indeed.
Like to tell, like, hey Baba, that shirt is nice. This is disrespectful. But
Indeed,
people think me telling you your shirt is nice is a compliment. No, I'm disrespecting you. Your shirt look
indeed,
foolish and stupid. I'm in
indeed,
front of your face disrespecting you. So pay
indeed.
attention to the energies that you put out, not knowing the words that you're utilizing, spelling, spells, grammar, grimoire, so on and
That's
so forth. You have to understand the language. Like, we
right.
got to work on saying things in here. That's why to manifest, you have to let it soak within you, not putting it out.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's why I love, not let me not even use love, because that's a sacrifice in seven
Yeah.
different meanings. Why I value Ephiism, and why I'm still learning more about Ifa, the science, not the religion, because
Uh,
we fail to understand that chemistry and science flows within the natural order of things.
that did you hear what you said, baby? Did you hear what you said?
Chemistry,
Natural order.
science flows within the natural order of things.
I shade. I shade.
Stop thinking, stop believing it belongs to a set of artificial people when you're natural and this is your planet, and the sun proves that you're natural. It doesn't
Indeed.
cook you. You eat and absorb vitamin D on a daily basis. It decrystallizes your pineal gland, which is your first eye. Most people call it the third, but it's your first eye.
It's your first. Yes. I shade. Well said, young man. Yeah, well said. Yes.
um,
Yeah.
um, now I keep want to say how, but I
Uh-huh.
know that's not the word to use. Why do Ifa benefit your household, and why do your wife
Hmm.
stand strong with you within
Hmm.
the science of Ifa?
Um, basically because like I said, everybody chooses their own path, and whenever I'm learning something, I mean, it's the folks in my house have always respected me for what I'm studying or what I have to say. I don't know if that goes with the brainwashing of being a man, or I don't know what goes behind it. But all I can tell you is that when I got into it and began to change, they were curious to know what was causing me to change. So that's when different I start taking my wife, my daughter, to get reads until I learned how to divine myself. And that was it. Once they had a couple of reads, and it was on like popcorn. They were hooked. They wanted to know, how is it that you can tell me something about my life that I have not told you, and you're able to tell me something about my life. You follow me? You're able to reveal secrets that I had hid from people. How are you able to see that? And that's what pretty much got everybody in my household.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how in depth is your goddess to the science now?
Everybody in the house can divine, even my son. If you sat in front of my son, he will be able to give you a read. He will be able to tell you what's going on in your life. And my son is 12 years old.
I can't wait. I can't wait to actually be face to face, not within this mirror, but face to face, so I can get that actual reading. Apart from Ifa changing your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do or utilize Ifa to touch other people?
Well, I'm glad you said that. I would like to show people that there is something that looks like it's hocus pocus, but in reality, it has been a science that's been around for eons.
Speak of eons.
Mm-hmm.
Given age.
That's it. There's no age for it.
Okay. So
there's no age. There's
so
no
it
age
goes,
for it.
so it goes back beyond the what's it called, the baboon bone. Like, I know that's like what, 90,000.
Bone. I mean,
Yeah.
it goes. Even the name itself, Shango bone. That's one of the Orishas. That's the god of thunder. You know, I'm not just studying Ifa, but I'm studying the Orishas also, and I'm finding out that they have gotten a bad rap. And it's really sad of the stuff that they have. My Hispanic brothers, my Cuban brothers, my Brazilian brothers, my African brothers, tied up into believing in something that flies around and does things. It's ridiculous. But
So, question: the Spanish people, the Chupacabra. What Ori does that represent? Because
say that again.
The Chupacabra. Which Orisha does that represent?
What is a Chupacabra? I've never heard of that. That's new to me. Yeah, that's new to me. What is that?
It's like it's like this demonic what, how can I describe this?
A monster or something?
Yeah, it's a monster basically. Like, if you do certain things, it comes.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Look,
I might be chopping up the name of it, but yeah.
I know what you're talking about. There is 401 known Orishas. And they are, I don't know how many, well, some people call Lewa Orishas too. So, I don't know. I don't know. All I can tell you is where I'm at right now, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But
Here, I can.
I primarily focus on 7 of them.
Okay.
7 on them I have given myself over extensively to, to study and know the ins
Immortalize
and
one.
say again.
Immortalize one.
Oh, most definitely. That's
Shango.
primarily. Huh?
Shango.
Shango is king, and like with that, I'll give you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little bit of my book. Um, Shango is king. So what you would understand in operating in that particular energy is that you will rule in anything. That's all it means. Anything that you apply yourself to, that you rule over or you rule in, that's his energy. You follow me?
So those of you that, especially my wife, that thinks I am overpowering, and let me stop.
He's a
Let me stop.
dominant energy because he's
Yeah,
king.
yeah. He takes no shit, and
Yeah.
and
And see the importance. See, that's why it is important to understand, because with Shango's energy, you can be a person that is arrogant, because who is a king supposed to listen to? So you will always have a problem with arrogance, because there's nobody that a king is supposed to listen to, because he's king.
yeah,
But
and she keep trying to use the word egotistical.
yes, well, now you said that word a couple of times. Do you believe that you're apostle? I see. Hey, man, that's all right. That's all right. Yes,
You know who that
sir.
is.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
know who
sir.
that is.
What's funny is you got him in a room that's full of technology, which is Ogun.
I'm being disrespectful.
Yeah, they will consider that being very disrespectful. They're not supposed to
Uh,
be together. I can't really make that one out.
you know who
It
this
was
is.
Oshun?
Yeah, she's the prettiest.
Yes, Oshun. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Um, Wait a minute. What was I about to tell you?
You said I said ego. You said I've
Oh
used
yeah,
it a couple
you
times.
used that word, ego. Do you believe that we have an ego?
I don't believe in the ID, no.
No, because we don't.
We don't. It's
We
it's 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 an excuse we utilize to stand in our truth. We always
Indeed,
we always want to hide from something versus holding
indeed,
ourselves accountable. So I don't want to be accountable, so I'm gonna say it's my ego. Get the hell out of here. There's no
indeed.
such thing as an ego. Are
No
you the one
such.
that's aware, or you're the one? Are you the one that's aware that you're seeing, or you're the one observing?
Hmm.
That's the thing. That's the question. Like, I don't. Yeah. So
That
yeah,
that word has done a lot of damage.
it is.
Yes.
It's kind of like the evolution. They tell you like, oh, you've evolved from apes to man, and so on and so forth. But what they didn't tell you is that they were born with tails, and that DNA is within them, and no other race on the planet
No
is
other race.
original to the planet but you. They
That's it.
have the God thinking they're men, and you're
Hmm.
beneath the men. So we shit on our feminine energy and
That's bad.
disrespect our feminine energy. Now understand you have feminine energy. We've been
It's on the way.
programmed.
It's rising. It's rising. It's happening.
Let's see how long y'all run from
We
yourself.
caught up in it. We
The
caught
age,
up in brain change.
the age of Aquarius ain't playing with y'all. Let's see how long. Let's see how long y'all run from yourself.
I'm writing a book, and what I've done in the book is to show people, like you just said, the age of Aquarius. That sign was originally, that's not the sign that originally it should be. It should be the age of Shango. It should be, it's that energy is Shango's energy. So the entire zodiac, well, it has the name that it's supposed to have. It's zodiac. That's animals. That's their stuff. The original chart really should be considered to be a chart of Orishas, So, and you have 13 constellations, but that's another show. That's another show.
Yeah, because they just came out like, oh, there's really 13. There's really 13 planets and 13 zodiacs. No, it been around. You just took it away and brought it back. Get the hell out of here! Like, and the crazy thing that what we don't realize is whenever they tell you there's something new, we've been knew that. Bobby Hemmett said it. We already been through that phase. They're just figuring it out.
Indeed.
And they're looking for you to teach them because they lack it. They cannot speak on metaphysics. They can't dabble in those realms. It's in your DNA. That's why they study you.
Indeed, most definitely. They study in the extraterrestrial, the alien. They studying it,
which is in your DNA.
Indeed.
Yes. I say to my people going forward, we need to study DNA and RNA. Shout out to Cali. But we travel in a vessel we know nothing about, but they do. They do. Our feminine energy goes sit in front of them and they play between her legs and take her embryonic fluids, her cells, and play with these things. Even the sac that the child sits in. If you go back to the hospital and ask for that sac, you gotta jump through hula hoops.
Yes.
Do you know how powerful the cells within that is?
Indeed.
Lack of knowing. Lack of knowing. So when you say Ifa is straightforward and more balanced to you knowing yourself than any other form of science around us?
It's more the natural way of me knowing myself. Okay. Ifa is out here. It's just that we've given it different names. Like Orumala would be considered psychology. You understand where I'm coming from? So until well, I'm not going to say just me, but there are other people that have been in the craft that are coming out of the craft because they realize that it's doing more damage to the psyche of people of color. And it's just not, it's not cool, man, to make people think that there's pie in the sky in nothing that you do. If you're going to help somebody, help them find themselves, help them be self-centered. What? Did you say self-centered? Yes.
You're selfish. So people telling you you're selfish, not knowing you're supposed to be selfish, is problematic.
Indeed. It's like the word thank you. Like the word thank you. That's not even supposed to be. You don't use that. Why should I tell you thank you for anything that is in this plane? Please, I'll wait for an answer. I'm waiting. Why should I tell you thank you for everything that is mine just as much as it's yours? I'll wait. But now, if you have a creature that needs to appreciate that you have the goal to give it something, then yeah, I would train that thing to praise me and to thank me for giving it something. You follow me?
If I could whistle, It would sound stronger than that.
You follow me?
But
So
it's gonna hit somebody. Somebody's gonna pick up on what was said.
indeed.
That's why I say
Or
gratitude. That's why I say gratitude a lot. I don't.
gratitude. Yes, gratitude. Gratitude. Yes. 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 You don't see a baby coming up to you when you got a candy and grabbing it saying thank you, but yet we teach it to say that.
Teach them. We program. No, we're programming. We're not even going to use the word teaching. We program them.
We
Yes,
program.
we program them.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a series of questions before we close the show out, right?
Yes, sir.
And thank you for your energy, by the way.
Thank you for yours, brother.
What room should I have Obatala in?
I would have him in my personal space. They teach you that he is supposed to always be in the dark. The reason why
this is my personal space.
okay. The reason being is because he's the sum total of light, and he shines light in the darkness in you to show you the areas you need to work on.
I'm gonna put him in my closet. That's the darkest place I have.
Nah, he needs to be where everybody can see it. But
Yeah.
this is the when you go and get Obatala, he's contained in a element, and they tell you to keep him in the dark.
So I need to order me Ogun so he can be around all this technology.
Technology.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question. For the feminine, goddesses are sunbloods. Shout out to Kalai again. That lack the knowing of oneself. What would be the first step for them to learning of oneself, or advice you would give to them learning oneself? Repeat.
Study etymology.
Study etymology.
Because every thought that you have regarding who you are, what you know, is not who you are and what you know. So in studying those thoughts or those words, you begin to have a revelation about what spell you under, what's going on in you, and you begin to break all that.
Also, are people aware that everything is a spell and a ritual?
No.
How? I keep saying how. Is there? Do you have any knowledge of self that can tell them how to recognize these things?
That's the thing. They're on their journey. There are people that are going to gravitate to what I'm saying, and there are people that are going to stay on that path that they're on because they're going in that path. It's only when they stop to question, they can get off the path. But you got to understand something. If you're going to a particular individual that's divining for you, he is giving you the information that energy is saying, but that's coming through him. You follow me? So he's limited to his understanding of psychology about what that energy is, and the person that he's talking to, they only can go as far as he is. You follow me?
So in translation, you still have to do the damn work yourself.
Got to do the work, baby. Got to do the work, baby. Got to do the work. Got to do. You can't get away from you. Wherever you go, you are.
And Bernie Mac say, "You lazy summer mama." Yeah, I'm nice.
Got to do the work.
Why is Ifa such a beautiful balance to carbon-based people?
Because there's no time frame for it. We don't know how old it is.
In translation, I'm
The
sorry.
binary code is something that has no time frame. It's it's always been around, and we have always utilized it. So it's like trying to figure out where man came from. You can't. He always have been.
So
Well, I'm not
why
gonna say
so why the hell do we aim to give a beginning and use the word created instead of transforming?
that's the other group of people. That's mankind that feel like they need to know where they came from.
And
We
add
are
a title
we know we always been here.
and add a title to things.
Yes.
Why do ephod deals with transformation versus creation?
Um, why does it deal with transformation versus creation? Um, for some reason, it's like we have lost, uh, like we put something to the side that'll point us back at ourselves, and that's what EFI is.
So would you say we're testing ourselves and all of this is a test?
Well, I wouldn't say testing. We're constantly learning. We're constantly evolving. God is always learning himself. You cannot exhaust good and evil. Can't exhaust it. Can't exhaust it. That's
Okay.
why it would always be. That's why we will always be.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, I want to say gratitude for taking time out of posting your energy elsewhere to share it,
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
to
Thank you. I
share
appreciate it.
it, to share it here with me and to
Hmm.
sit down and have the swapping of energy. I know for some of y'all may be like, oh, that sounds weird, but you need to expound your consciousness. You need to balance your consciousness and go
Indeed.
within, and then you know the truth within you. And I realize, and I want to say gratitude for it as well. And I'm going to adapt that notion. I realize you don't aim to teach anyone. You allow them to actually flow within wherever map they're flowing on and go experience what they need to experience. And if they stop and say, hey, Baba Ivan, I got questions for you, then you indulge in those questions and so on. I want to say much
Indeed,
respect.
brother.
That's a
Indeed.
great way of flowing within this realm. That
How the hell I'm gonna learn?
but the crazy thing is I have a issue with that because in a sense I expect them to know, because what I do is like I put my face on everyone because which is kind of crazy, because I know that the same energy in you is the same energy in me. One is all and all is one. I know that, right?
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
in a sense,
Indeed.
I'll put, if people argue with me, I might put my face on them, and it might quail the arguments. I start looking at them different. But
Mhm.
that you do, that action you take is a powerful one, and I'm going to adapt that. You
I
know,
say
because I am unique to
yes.
me, and you're
Yes.
unique to you. So
Yes.
you gotta flow within you, and I gotta flow within me. You can't
I
flow for me, and I can't flow for you. So
I
we need
say
to remove the ideology that I know you when there's so
mm-hmm.
much more of me.
I
I need
say
to learn,
I say
and vice versa,
I say
and remove the judgment and the
it
conditions.
move automatic. Automatic when you flow that way. What I ain't got no fingers to point at you. I'm
Because
busy for me.
because three pointing back at you, it always leads back to you. You
I
know.
say
Um,
did you just recently watch my video?
No, see, the thing is, what I realized with myself, brother, and
Mm,
we had these conversation off video, but
mm,
I know certain things, and
mm-hmm.
I flow within the energy of certain things. You can have something within you, and you don't say it, and I say it for you. and vice
Ashe.
versa.
Indeed.
So it's like the universe has little ways of playing with us. You know what I'm saying? So our telepathic traces are opening up. You know what I'm saying? So you can go through something or say something to somebody, and I come out like, "Hey, Ivan, such and such," that flows with what you said a week ago. You're like, "What the hell? Was he listening to my conversation?" No, because one is all and all is one. We're all connected.
Indeed,
That's
brother.
what it is. That's
Indeed.
what it is.
Ashe.
For those of you that would like to participate in the show, MEN-talRollaDeK stands for balance. Going forward, this show will be a show that motivates and elevates each one of us, right? Steel sharpens steel. So I will no longer speak on your pain or speak on the things that bring forth fear in our life or aim to gossip, but to motivate and bring forth positive energy, because I'm a positive individual. Therefore, I'm going to pass it on to you. Okay? Point blank, period. Going forward, the show will only focus on positive things and so on and so forth. I will elevate you through my actions.
Ashe.
If you adapt to it, you adapt. If it's not for you, move along.
Ashe.
Plain and simple. And once again, gratitude, God, for joining and sharing your energy and teaching. There's more to come, because this is not the first or the second time I'm going to have you on here, because I know you got a series of books.
Ashe, yes.
And
yes, sir.
It's coming. So how can the people reach out to you?
Well, if they're interested in, let me say this. If you are a diviner, and if you are learning how to divine, then the current books I have, Oyeku and Agbe, they will do you some justice. And you can get them through Book Patch. You just look up bookpatch.com and type in Ivan Norah, and I'll come up. But the other avenue of getting in contact with me, shoot, you can reach out to me. I don't mind people calling me. My number is 214-779-4769. That's 214-779-4769. You can reach out to me. We're doing some things here in Dallas. You know, we have what some people will call a drum circle, where me and my kids and my godchildren, we get together and we build on each other. You know, we share. You know, some days we choose to deal with trauma issues. Some days we choose just to deal with Odu and explain energy of Odu or Orishas, or explain what's going on in the universe as a whole, like the moon, what is going on with the energy that the moon is putting out, how that's going to affect your life. You know, reach out to me.
Before we close, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How do you deal with heating up? How do you deal with heating up? How do you deal with the pulsation? You feel the heat coming from the core of your body to flowing throughout your entire body. How do you deal with that?
Now, if you're referring to when I, like, sometime when I get certain insight and revelation, I have to sit in a quiet place. I have a quiet place for that, and some people call it an elay, some people call it a meditation area, and that's what I do. I sit there, and I sit there until.
So when your body start heating up, that's what you do.
That's what I do. Well, it depends on what kind of heat we're talking, brother. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Not that. No. I'm talking about like sitting here sitting here due to what I just said about the channel actually changing, and it'll be a
Yes.
channel of positivity, right? There's a
Yes.
pulsation within the core of my stomach, and I can
Oh, you
feel it pulsing. And I've
can't
been
wait.
getting, huh?
You can't wait to get to it. You can't wait
Yes.
to get to it.
And I'm getting hotter ever since I said that. I'm like, that's why I asked that question. Like, what the hell?
Oh, we have a saying that's called "ome tutu," "ome tutu." You know, cool your head down. You know, put your head under some water. "Ome tutu," "ome tutu."
Yeah, because that's an energy. That's an energy, and sometimes we don't know. We have so much damn energy, we don't know where to do with it.
That's right. Cool. Well, when I'm in my eating, I got water, and I do that also. You know,
Okay.
if I've had a rough day, or where my children have driven me to where I'm about to blow up, I have to go in there. I hurry up and go in there. Be honest with you, and I sit down and I got some water, put it on my head. I also have some other things I do, but I center myself. I calm down.
Okay.
Sir.
All right. Gratitude for that. And for those of you out there watching, it doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button. Please like, subscribe to MEN-talRollaDeK, and we say until next time.
I say.
Love yourself, like yourself, be selfish, and elevate beyond what they say you cannot.
I
Peace.
say. Peace.